A really serious incident has just rocked the heart of India's capital. We're here to break down the first reports coming out of Delhi, to explain what happened, what it all means, and of course, what comes next. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so let's set the scene. The date is November 10th, 2025. You gotta remember, this is a busy time of day, when the city is absolutely buzzing with activity, which, really helps explain the devastating impact that was about to unfold. And the location? The explosion went off right near the Red Fort metro station. I mean, we're talking about one of Delhi's busiest transit hubs. Choosing a place like this, where thousands and thousands of people pass through every single day, well, it suggests a deliberate and frankly a chilling attempt to cause as much chaos and fear as possible. So what are we actually talking about here? This wasn't just some accident. The initial reports are all confirming it was a powerful car bomb explosion. The source material even uses the word tremendous to describe the blast. So that paints a picture of a very carefully planned and just devastating attack. Okay, so we've got the when and the where. But what was the immediate human cost? Let's break down the absolutely devastating impact of this attack. And the first numbers coming in are they're staggering. As of right now, we know that 13 people were tragically killed in the blast. And it doesn't stop there. On top of the fatalities, more than 20 other people were injured. This was a direct attack on civilians, just going about their day in a public space, and the numbers, well, they really reflect that awful reality. Just try to imagine the scene for a second. The sheer force of this explosion was enough to set 3 nearby cars on fire, turning a busy public street into a scene of complete and utter chaos. And as you can imagine, this immediately triggered widespread panic as people just scrambled for safety. So in the middle of all that chaos, the focus has to shift, right? It shifts to the official response. I mean, how do you even begin to investigate an attack like this? Let's take a look at the first steps the authorities took and the early clues they're working with. And, the official process kicked into gear almost instantly. You had local police and India's top counterterrorism unit. That's the National Investigation Agency, or NIA. They secured the scene. They pretty quickly zeroed in on a key piece of evidence and then established the legal framework for treating this as what it is, an act of terror. And this is the big one. Right now, it seems like the entire investigation is hanging on this one critical lead, a car with a license plate from the neighboring state of Haryana. The authorities are working on the theory that this was the vehicle used to carry the bomb, so tracking its origin, that is their absolute top priority right now. Now, you might hear this term, UAPA, being thrown around, and believe me, it's a huge deal. The decision to file the case under the UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, sends a major signal. This isn't being treated as just a criminal case. Invoking this really strict anti-terror law means the government is officially classifying this as a planned act of terrorism, and that gives investigators some pretty sweeping powers. When something like this happens in the nation's capital, it's guaranteed to get a response from the very top. So, how did India's leadership react in those first crucial hours? Well, that response came, and it was swift. Home Minister Amit Shah came out with a really stark warning, promising that, and I'm quoting here, the perpetrators will not be spared. It's a crystal clear message, right? It's intended to project strength and, of course, reassure a very shaken public. And it wasn't just the Home Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also weighed in, expressing his deep concern over the whole incident. And that confirms that this attack is being treated as a matter of national security, and it's being monitored at the absolute highest level of government. So, okay, what does all this mean for the everyday people of Delhi? Well, the impact was immediate. Security was instantly ramped up across the entire city. So if you're using the metro, for instance, you can absolutely expect intensive checks at every single station as the capital goes on high alert. And so, where does that leave us? Well, it all comes down to one critical question. With the city on high alert and investigators in a race against time to track down their one big lead, the next 48 hours are going to be absolutely crucial. The challenge now isn't just about finding the people who did this. It's about preventing the next attack. And that's where the focus is now.